What is going on, guys? This weekend is UFC 318. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3, the trilogy for the BMF title. And this is going to be my full card early predictions. Let's go ahead and get started with the early prelim opener of Carly Judas versus Nicole Kalari. Why? I'm going to go Carly Judas via decision. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't give a fuck. Next fight. Actually a decent fight. We have Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh. If I remember correctly, I don't remember if it was McVeigh was supposed to fight somebody else or Bruno was supposed to fight somebody else, and then one of them came in on shortish notice. I honestly don't remember which one. But Jackson McVeigh 6-0. I don't care. Ad Block Plus. Jackson McVeigh 6-0. Bruno Ferreira 13-2. Way more experience for Bruno. I'm gonna go Bruno Ferreira, like second or third round TKO KO. I just think the experience lays on Bruno Ferreira's side. He's had, he's gone through the UFC jitters. McVeigh. Is he making his debut? Or was he on the Contender Series last? I don't think he's fought in the UFC yet. Could be wrong. Yeah, no, he's not. Okay. Yeah, I just think, the UFC jitters is going to play a big role in it. I think, he does have a good size advantage over Bruno Ferreira and a good reach advantage. If you hear any noise in the background, it's an animal. It's a cat. But, I don't think that's going to matter in this fight. I think the Bruno Ferreira, the skills of him, I think he's got good jiu-jitsu, decent in the grappling. Obviously, he has good power. So I think we're going to go second or third round TKO for Jackson McVeigh, or for Bruno Ferreira over Jackson McVeigh. Moving up. This is honestly very hard to pick. We got Ryan Spann versus Lucas Bresky. When I saw this fight, I'm like, oh, Ryan Spann. Easy. Ryan Spann goes out there and gets knocked out in his last fight. I thought, because you got a lot of light heavyweights that are moving up to heavyweight. You got Ryan Spann, Kennedy Nzechukwu. You've got Petrino, just moved up to heavyweight. Is there another one I can't think of? Maybe. And I really don't know who to pick in this fight because Lucas Bresky is not good. Ryan Spann is so hit or miss. Like, one fight he looks really good, looks on point. The next fight gets brutally chinned. Or like lost to Anthony Smith, where he should have won, on paper. This is the last time I'm picking Ryan Spann. I'm going to go Ryan Spann to get it done. First round KO. If he loses this fight to Lucas Bresky, I will never pick Ryan Spann again. Ever. I'll be done with picking Ryan Spann. Bresky's really bad. Spann's really bad. I think Spann has better power. And he's got a good guillotine. So if Bresky tries to take him down, I think he can get him with a guillotine. But he just does not have good fight IQ at all. But we'll go Ryan Spann to get it done. First round KO for Ryan Spann. I'm not super confident in that pick at all. Another one that's like what do I do? We got Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. I'm going to go Marcin Prachnio. I just cannot pick Jimmy Crute over the lack of fight IQ he has over the last few fights. There are so many moments. I don't even remember who he fought last, but he almost had that fight in the bag, had the guy hurt, fumbled that, and then gassed out. I'm going Marcin Prachnio to get it done via decision. Crute, very durable, hard to get out of there. I think he'll be able to survive all 3 rounds. I don't see Prachnio finishing him. But yeah, I think this should be a fun fight. Anyway, Moving up the card, the headliner of the early prelims, we have Adam Fugit versus Islam Dulatov. Islam Dulatov coming off the contender series, making his UFC debut. I'm going to go Islam Dulatov to get it done via decision. Maybe like late third round finish. I just don't rate Adam Fugit that good. I don't rate Adam Fugit that good at all. I think Islam's more well-rounded and will be able to really kind of dominate the fight wherever he wants. Yeah, don't have much to say about this fight. Moving up the card. I am so happy. Because for a while, this was on the pay-per-view. I'm so glad that this is now on the prelims and not the pay-per-view. If I can say his name right. We have Abeta Guaitar versus Robert Valentin. Valentin coming off, is it 2 or 3 losses in a row? It's at least 2 losses in a row. One I know was for the Ultimate Fighter. And then his last fight, oh shit. Tired. In his last fight, gets absolutely dominated by Tory Finnis, I don't remember what it is. But just gets hold on the entire fight. Just holds on to him, doesn't do anything. He isn't able to stuff the takedowns, but he just gets dominated, outclassed completely in the wrestling. Gaitar, trying to remember his last fight. I remember he got the finish. I don't remember the guy's name. But I remember he was waving him on and then gets knocked out like immediately. What's his name? He's cut. I'm pretty sure he got cut after that fight. But nonetheless, I'm going to go... Man, this is kind of tough. Because I don't think Valentin is like... I think he could probably hang in the UFC. He really needs to work on his grappling. That's probably obviously his biggest weak point. I'm going to go Gaitar. I'm going to go Gaitar to get it done via decision. I think Valentin will be tough enough to hold out all 3 rounds and not get finished. I could see Gaitar getting him out of there via KO, TKO. He's got really good power. I think he could probably out-grapple Robert Valentin if he wanted to. But I see it going the distance. I see maybe late TKO for Gaitar. And that'll probably be the end of the UFC career for Robert Valentin. Moving up the card. We have Francisco Prada versus Nikolai. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and get it. Veredenikov. I think I said that. We're gonna call him Nikolai. Both coming off the losses. I'm gonna go Nikolai based on the size advantage. 1, I think that's gonna be the main factor in this. And 2, it seems like in every fight that Prada's in, he just can't get going. It just seems like he can't really get his rhythm. Yeah, he's tough. He's got a good chin. He takes damage well. So I'm going to pick Nikolai to get it done via decision. I don't think he's going to go out there and finish Francisco Prada. But I just see him be able to outclass Prada essentially everywhere that he wants to. I could see a potential where Nikolai gasses out and Prada could maybe finish him in like the 3rd round or something. But other than some type of fluke KO or finish or, situation, I see this pretty clear win for Nikolai Veredenikov. I think I said it right. But yeah, I think this should be... Prada's fights are always pretty fun and interesting to watch. I think it should be a pretty fun fight. Moving up the card. Starting to get into some decent fights. This one, honestly, I still don't know who I'm picking. As I'm talking right now, we have Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Both of them. They've already fought in a casino once. This is the rematch. Brendan Allen, I think, won the first one, if I remember correctly. This is a tough fight to pick, if I'm being honest. Both of these... Brendan Allen, obviously, has the advantage in the grappling. 100%. They're, Marvin Vettori's kind of, mediocre everywhere. Not, super good in any realm. I would maybe give Marvin Vettori the power advantage. Maybe. Brendan Allen does not have good striking. but Vettori's isn't much better than Allen's. Man, I honestly don't know who to pick because they're both so mediocre and both have very, very low fight IQ. Like, they both make very stupid decisions. Like, Allen in the Imavov fight wins the first round easy, gets Imavov down, gets his control of him, controls him the whole first round. Then there will be moments where he's doing good with Imavov. I think he was doing good on the feet with Imavov, and they would just shoot takedowns, and then Imavov would control him. I'm trying to like envision how this fight's gonna go down, because I honestly could see Brendan Allen getting the back of Marvin Vettori and being able to control him, not able to submit him, but able to control him. I'm gonna go Brendan Allen. I'm not super confident in this pick though, but I wouldn't be confident if I picked Marvin Vettori either. I'm gonna go Brendan Allen to get it done via decision. I think he's gonna be able to out-grapple Marvin Vettori, get the back in like one of the rounds. Another of the rounds, I think he's gonna be able to just slightly outstrike him and maybe like hold him up against the cage. And then one of the rounds, I think Marvin Vettori will probably win. But yeah, again, I would not be super confident really picking either one of these guys. They both have low fight IQs. They both make stupid decisions in mid-fight. And you just can't be certain in either one of them. I'm just gonna lean Brendan Allen because of the grappling. I think he's got better grappling. If he's able to get control of Imavov, which I think Imavov would beat Marvin Vettori pretty easily, I think he can control Marvin Vettori. Moving up the card, headlining the prelims. This is actually probably my favorite prelim on the card. We have Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. This, in my opinion, easy pick. I'm going Vinicius Oliveira. Now, does he finish Kyler Phillips? Kyler Phillips, is it back-to-back losses for Kyler Phillips? I know he lost the Rob Font fight. I feel like he fought somebody else in the meantime. Did he not? He didn't. I don't know why I thought he did. I would take a long time, too, if I... Kyler Phillips was, like, supposed to beat Rob Font. Like, it was supposed to be... everybody was picking. I picked Rob Font to win that fight. Was that on the Protest Magni card? It might have been. I can't remember. But I remember picking Rob Font to win that fight. In his previous fights, Kyler Phillips looked really good. He looked improved. The cardio looked really great. But Rob Font just put the pressure and pace on him. And I think that's what Vinicius Oliveira is going to do. Now, I don't think Oliveira has the same gas tank that Rob Font does. But he's really good with his pressure and pace. Definitely has a power advantage over Rob Font. So, but does he finish Kyler Phillips? I don't think he's going to finish Kyler Phillips. If he does, it's going to be a knockout. I'm going to go Vinicius Oliveira to get it done via dominant decision. I think he's going to win all 3 rounds. It's going to be a clear decision. Maybe Phillips, like if Oliveira starts to gas out in the 3rd round, maybe Phillips wins the 3rd round, but I highly doubt it. I think we're going to see a very dominant, decisive win for Vinicius Oliveira. Is he ranked yet? I don't think he's ranked. He's ranked number 15. Okay. So to get him up the rankings a little bit, I don't even remember how Kyler Phillips got ranked, and I don't see him being ranked for much longer. Bantamweight division, most stacked division in the UFC. Cannot wait for this fight. Real excited for this fight. But yeah, I just don't see... I think his best path to victory is probably to out-grapple Vinicius Oliveira. That's probably, because it was his debut. Oliveira got out-grappled and almost lost, but then got the knockout in the end. I think that's how it happened. I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, we're going Oliveira via decision. Dominant decision. Moving on. Opening up the pay-per-view. This is, we got Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Way better fight than Gaiotar versus Valentin to have on pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is still not a very good pay-per-view, but better. Listen, they're really setting up Michael Johnson to get brutally KO'd like he usually does by Daniel Zellhuber. I personally want Michael Johnson to win this fight. I think he's 40 years old. He is still fast, yes, even though he's old. But he has slowed down significantly. I've got to go Daniel Zellhuber. Does he knock Michael Johnson out? That's the only question. This is hard to pick. It really is. I'm going to say he does. I think he's going to knock Michael Johnson out, unfortunately. He's going to get meme KO'd again. I really badly want Michael Johnson to win this fight. I'm rooting for him the whole time. I just think, he's old. Zellhuber's young. Zellhuber has good power. They both have good power. Michael Johnson could clip Zellhuber, hurt him. He's been hurt in fights before. Okay? It is possible for Michael Johnson to win. I think the size advantage, the reach that Zellhuber has, he's going to be able to keep Johnson back. I think he's going to clip him as Johnson's kind of going, trying to cross that distance and get inside to land his own shots. I think that's where Daniel Zellhuber is going to catch him, coming in, knock him out, stiff KO over Michael Johnson. It's going to be hard to watch. And I again, rooting for Michael Johnson here, but I just unfortunately don't see it going that way. But yeah, this should be a good fight, 100%. Moving up the card, we have Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Pitbull getting another ranked opponent. And, I get it, okay? Very we'll call it, very good champion over at Bellator. Very accredited champion. That's a better way to say it. I'm not picking him. I'm not picking him over Dan Ige. I know Dan Ige is hit or miss, Sometimes he'll win a couple, lose a couple. I think Pitbull's too old. If you look in the past, the shorter, stockier opponents seem to give Pitbull more trouble, and I don't think it's going to be any better the older he's gotten. I could see because Dan Ige's got good power. I could see Dan Ige getting the finish over Patricio Pitbull here. I'm not going to pick him to finish Pitbull. Although if he did, I think he could do it in any of the 3 rounds. I think he could knock him out. I'm going to go Dan Ige to get it done via 29-28 decision. Maybe Pitbull picks up 1 round. Ige doesn't have to worry about gassing out. I don't think he's going to gas out. Always has good 3-round cardio, can go a hard 3 rounds. Pitbull, again, not going to have to worry about that for him either. I just see, the age, slight reach advantage for Dan Ige. I think they should have gotten Pitbull in the UFC earlier if they want him to have success. Do I think he could have some success? Yes. I think it's going to have to be against lower level opposition at his age now. I just don't see him. I think it's going to be a somewhat competitive fight. I just don't see him being able to get the win over Dan Ige. And I think this could be fight of the night, potentially. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. I got Dan Ige via 29-28 decision. Moving up the card. I think this was thrown together somewhat last minute within the last few weeks and replaced the Valentin fight on the pay-per-view, which this way better on a pay-per-view than Gaethje versus Valentin. We have Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. These two were booked for UFC 279. Then the whole shuffle happened. Rodriguez fought the Leech, and Kevin Holland fought Chimaev, where he got absolutely mauled and destroyed. I don't see how you could pick anybody besides Kevin Holland in this fight. Although his last 2 opponents, not the best level opposition. Daniel Rodriguez has his own, puzzle for Kevin Holland to solve on the feet. I think Holland I really think he could out-grapple Daniel Rodriguez. I think he could outstrike Daniel Rodriguez. I don't see where Daniel Rodriguez wins this fight. Outside of some weird fluke knockdown KO over Kevin Holland, I just don't see how he can get it done. I think Kevin Holland's got better. He's better in the boxing, better with the kicks, better with grappling. I think he's just better everywhere. Rodriguez is old. I think he's almost 40. Kevin Holland in his prime currently. I think he's like 32, 33 years old. Does he finish Daniel Rodriguez? Rodriguez shown it's hard to... He's got a good chin, but he can be submitted. He's been submitted several times. Neil Magny submitted him. I can't remember if it was a head and arm choke or a Darce. Oh, fuck, I'm tired. How does he finish him? Or does he finish him? I could see Kevin Holland getting it done via decision. Honestly, you know, I'm not trying to like fucking dick ride Kevin Holland here. I could see him getting this done in any of three ways. I could see him winning via dominant decision. I could see him knocking Daniel Rodriguez out. It'd be like more of a TKO. I don't think it'd be out cold. And I could see him submitting Daniel Rodriguez with like a Darkman choke, as he calls it. A Darce choke, an Anaconda choke, something like that. I could see him getting any one of those victories. Those are my like the three paths to victory for Kevin Holland. For Daniel Rodriguez, I think he's going to have to, for him to win, needs to put the pressure and pace on Kevin Holland, constantly moving forward. I think that's the way to overwhelm Kevin Holland. That's the way to beat him. Obviously, you could out-grapple him. I don't think Rodriguez has the capabilities to out-grapple Kevin Holland. I'm going to go Kevin Holland. I'm just going to say via decision. But again, I could see him knocking him out or getting like a Darce choke. But I'll go Kevin Holland via decision. Moving up the card, co-main event. We have Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. Man. I gotta go Kopylov. I'm gonna go Kopylov via 29-28 decision. He tends to gas out. I think he'll probably get tired in this fight, and I'll see Paulo Costa picking up that third round. Could Costa surprise us and get the win? I think it's possible. I just can't pick him. He's not super active. It's been a while since Kopylov had his last fight, but he's been more active than Paulo Costa. Costa's maybe fighting once a year, maybe. And is he on like a 3-fight losing streak, something like that? And it's against a good opposition, don't get me wrong. It's, Strickland, Whitaker. I feel like there was another one. I don't remember who. I could be wrong, but I feel like there was another one. Where Kopylov has this upward trajectory, really good kicks, which Costa has decent kicks himself. But the speed of Roman Kopylov's kicks, I think is what's going to get it done over Paulo Costa. I don't really see... It's going to have to be putting the pressure on Kopylov and winning the second and third round. I think no matter what, Kopylov's going to win that first round. He's very good first-round fighter. Tends to slow down, though. But yeah, that's why I'm picking Roman Kopylov to get it done via 29-28 decision, where Costa picks up the third round. I think this will be a competitive fight, though. Don't get me wrong. Moving up the card, the main event. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. 3 for the BMF title. They have a title on the pay-per-view. Good for them. A title on the pay-per-view. Okay. Oh, fuck. I'm tired. It's in the morning, so I'm tired. This is a very tricky fight for me. Dustin Poirier, it's his retirement fight. This is going to be his last fight. Coming off of a loss to Islam Makhachev, where he was competitive with him, but did lose. Max Holloway coming off his first knockout loss to Ilia Topuria at 145, and then Ilia Topuria moves up and gets the 155-pound title. When I first started thinking about this fight, I'm going Max Holloway. He, arguably in-ish his prime, closer to his prime than Dustin Poirier. He's probably put the size back on that he lost when he cut back down to 145. He's permanently staying at 155. I've seen some clips online saying it's good that he can eat proper now, keep the muscle on, doesn't have to worry about dieting as much. And he got that win over Gaethje. Very clear, take out the knockout. He was dominating that fight. Gaethje had his moments, but it was a clear Max victory. And you got Dustin has the 2 wins over him. First win, Max was super young. Okay? Second one, Max was the 145-pound champion going up for the interim belt and didn't really put on size, bulk up, anything like that. Didn't properly get at 155. This is a really tough fight to pick on. Like, it really is. The reason I'm leaning, and I think I'm going to pick Dustin Poirier, I think he has the power advantage. Although Max is bulking up for 155, I still think Dustin Poirier has the power advantage over Max. This isn't going to be a grappling fight, I don't think at all. The reason I'm going to go with Dustin Poirier, and I'm going to pick him to get it done via decision, I think Max Holloway is going to be a little gun shy because he just got knocked out by Ilia Topuria. If he would have went the distance with Ilia, did not get finished, and just lost via decision, I would probably pick Max Holloway. But I think even if he pretends or says that that's not affecting him, I think deep down, getting knocked out like that is going to affect him. Now, while Dustin Poirier doesn't have like nuclear one-punch KO power like Ilia Topuria does, it's more of like an accumulation. I think he's still going to have more power than Max Holloway. Now, I could see Max winning this fight. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a winnable fight for Max Holloway. You know, Dustin Poirier, last fight, he's got one foot out the door already. Although I think he's taking this fight seriously, I really do think Max could win. I truly do. And he might win this fight. But I think it's just going to be that hesitancy of, oh, should I do this? You know, is my chin, like, he's going to have him questioning himself. Is his chin still there? Or did Ilia Topuria take Max Holloway's chin? I'm going to go Dustin Poirier to get it done via decision. Very competitive fight. I think it's going to be like a 48-47 decision for Dustin Poirier, where he wins 3 rounds to 2. You know, they're both going to have 5-round cardio. I'm not worried about either of them gassing out. I don't think either of them's going to go for takedowns. Could I see Dustin Poirier jumping the guillotine? Yes, I could. And Max Holloway staying on top, winning that round. And, you know, maybe low IQ moments like that from Dustin Poirier loses him the fight. And were rounds where, you know, Dustin would probably have won, that will give Holloway the round. That could happen. I very well could see that happening. I'm just going with Dustin Poirier due to the hesitancy of Max Holloway. I think he's going to be hesitant. I think he's going to be a little gun shy. And I think Poirier's going to want to go out there in his hometown, get it done for his retirement fight, go off on a win. But again, I'm not counting Max Holloway out. Let me know in the comment section down below, who do you guys think is winning the main co-main event? Let me know down below. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are new. Please subscribe. Drop a like on the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.